Dawn Richard became a public figure during her television debut on a 2005 hit TV show, Making the Band.
So I don't want to mess up your name because everyone's been telling me your last name is pronounced differently. Dawn Richard.
That is my name. I'm not trying to make it special. That is my father's name, his given name. It's my dad's Haitian, my mom's Creole.
Yeah.
Middle name is Angelique. It's not like a gimmick. I promise it's not something we're trying to do.
She was originally signed to Yeah Brother Records, and Diddy later bought her out of her contract before she did Making the Band.
The homie forever.
Yeah.
People will never understand that relationship. You know, like, people didn't know that Puff had bought me out of a contract prior to even getting on the show.
Really?
So I had loyalty to that, you know, and that's a respect that I understand that I loved my group, and I know that it wasn't I chose Puff over my group at the time. It was more of when someone does that where I come from, you got to respect that on a large level. So I gave loyalty to him, and I think I'll never forget that. And my father and my mother, for what we gone through, we'll never forget that. And I think with all his crazy, I look at things like that as loyalty. So I was loyal to him, and I paid my dues back like a businesswoman should.
Right.
Until he said, okay, your dues are paid. And then
I didn't know when Puff found out that I was still signed. I didn't know he wanted me. I just knew he was like, you're signed and that's illegal from the contract, so you going home. And every day after we would do a thing, he would bring me in and be like, I don't know what's going on, but they won't let you go. Are you having sex with these guys? Like, what's going on with this? And he was like, he'd be like, you're not even worth it. You going home. And I would go to my room and I would be waiting for them to send, and the next day I wouldn't get sent home. And he would do it every day, and I would literally be so stressed out. Like I was so skinny. My dad was stressed out because from what I heard, they were calling my dad like, how do we get them out of this? So they were asking Puff for a lot of money. Right, to get me out of the contract. I didn't know any of this was going on. I just know he got me in, and he kept telling me, I'm going to send you home. And he did that.
Did you want to punch him in the face?
No, because he did other things that were crazy that made me want to punch him. Like bringing us in a room and saying, you're ugly, like you got to fix your face. Like wild stuff. Like Puff was but he was preparing us for what the industry would be. But if we would have done what we did in this time, Puff would have been crucified. Because you can't talk to women now. Like the levels of what he was saying was like, it was aggressive. It was really aggressive. It was crazy. And then the last day, when I was about to pick the band, he made me change 12 times. And I didn't know why. Because I just knew I was going home. There would be no way that I didn't think he would buy a contract. I didn't know what was going on. And the reason why he was making me change is because he was going to pick me that whole time. But he made me feel like shit and be stressed out because he wanted to see if I would be off my game. If it would change me in any way. Then he would be like, she's not worth it. I had no clue. I just thought he was like, trash.
He was trying to make you force your way out.
Right.
After a rigorous competition, she, along with 4 other group members, were chosen for the group that later became known to us as Danity Kane. The band went on to be very successful from 2006 to 2009, and with 2 successful albums under their belt, Diddy decided to disband the group. After disbanding the group, Diddy made it very clear that he wanted to keep Dawn around as a solo artist.
And so I've given a lot of thought, and I'm gonna let you out your contract too. As far as for you, Dawn, I still want to make music with you. I still want you to be signed to the label. And, you know, if I decide to put that together, Danity Kane, then, you know, you'll be the only member that'll still be there.
Although Dawn was working with Diddy as a solo artist, Danity Kane would have their ups and downs on whether they want to be a group or not. And in 2014, shortly after an incident between Dawn and Aubrey O'Day took place, because things definitely got physical, the ladies disbanded again and set out officially to start their own separate careers.
And you and Aubrey were supposed to be cool, but then y'all
we were
fighting.
Cool. Yeah, nah, I think this is how I feel
Punched
about
in the
it.
face.
This is how I feel about it. This is how I feel about it. And I'm going to be real with y'all, because I always do. Any team, anything you play in, anything from football to basketball, whatever, everybody has a role. A quarterback cannot decide tomorrow to say, I'm going to be a wide receiver. He might be a really great runner, But at the end of the day, when it's time to get this championship ring, everybody has to play a part. The problem with Danity Kane is everybody wanted to play everybody's role. And when you're in a group like that, that can't survive. You know what I mean? Everybody can't be Kobe on a team.
You know, I feel the same way about any difficult time in my past or difficult situations or difficult people. You have to forgive yourself, you have to forgive them, and you have to just wish the best life possible for everyone around you, or you spend your life angry and miserable. It's such a waste of time. So
you can't let him get away with hitting you. That was bad.
You know, I think when you hit somebody, you never get away with it in your own heart and mind. That's something she has to live with, not me.
Dawn continued to work with Diddy, but it wasn't long before she wanted to be released from her contract, and instead, she was offered an opportunity to join Diddy's new group called Diddy Dirty Money. The group featured Dawn herself, Diddy, and another artist by the name of Kalina. The group ended up being very successful itself, selling millions of records. After Diddy decided to disband the Dirty Money singing group in 2012, Dawn continued her path as an independent artist. And without the huge backing of a major label, it created a different hustle in her. And through it all, she has always given Diddy his props for the role he's played in her career.
He gave me a shot. I don't have the story that you have. I have I got out alive.
Yeah.
And I got out with a business. And I don't have no bad stories. That was only support. Wow. So if you do good by other people, they'll do good by you.
She eventually got a deal with Merge Records in 2021 after being independent for 10 years. Dawn has had a very interesting journey in the music industry, from going from one successful music group to the other. But she was very clear in the interview with Pitchfork that she still struggles with finding sleep at night. When asked about whether she misses being signed to a huge label, she says, "Do I miss the funding? Hell yes. Do I miss getting up and just having to hit my mark? Yes. I was very grateful for the money and being able to be a part of something that felt bigger than me. But I also know that I was called BITCH more times than my own name. I know that I never slept, so much so that I don't know how to sleep well now. I know that I worked so hard that I was hospitalized maybe 2 or 3 times." She says that although the independent route is isolated, she would encourage it. She has more people that believe in her at Merge Records than she ever had at a major label. In September of 2024, just a few months shy of a year after Cassandra Ventura, Diddy's ex-girlfriend Cassie, filed a lawsuit against him over sexual abuse, amongst other things, well, Dawn decided to file her own lawsuit alleging sexual and physical abuse along with unpaid wages. Despite the ups and downs of Dawn's musical career, it hasn't stopped her from continuing to push forward in music and outside of music. Dawn is continuing her solo career as a musical artist, as she is signed to Merge label. In addition to that, she's also an animator over with Adult Swim. She's a martial arts expert, and her biggest love is being a business owner and operator of a vegan pop-up food truck. Now I want to hear you guys' thoughts. Go ahead and let me know your thoughts and comments about everything we just talked about as far as the career and everything that Miss Dawn had to go through dealing with Danity Kane, Diddy, Dirty Money, and being an independent artist. That's all that I have. I'm Jami, that's me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share my videos. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at JamiThatsMe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.